the heart-pounding action of Demon Slayer to the gripping mysteries of the Promised Neverland, anime has a knack for drawing us in from the very first moments. Whether it's the compelling characters, intricate world building, or breathtaking animation, there's something truly special about those initial episodes that hook us and refuse to let go. Join us as we delve into the opening chapters of some of the most beloved anime series, examining what makes them stand out and why they left such a lasting impression on fans around the globe. Get ready to relive those thrilling moments and discover new favorites along the way. Welcome to RyuAnime, your ultimate hub for anime updates, recaps, and insights. Today we bring you the most thrilling, jaw-dropping, best top 5 anime beginnings of all time. Hold your breath to see how just the beginning of something can surprise you. Let's begin with The Promised Neverland. Emma, Ray, and Norman are the senior children in the orphanage. An orphanage where the children aren't allowed to be near or go past the defined barriers in the gate. Kind Emma, secretive and silent Ray, and genius and strategic Norman are the brightest ones in the orphanage. One thing common about all these kids is their love for their mother. A game of tag brings them all near the barrier, making them wonder what's so dangerous for Mother to ask them to stay away from it. They also wonder why all the children that have been adopted have never written back to them. Since it's time for Connie to leave, she promises to write them and keep them in her memories. At night, when Connie leaves with her mother, Emma notices she forgets her favorite doll. Emma and Norman rush towards the gate and decide to leave the scolding for later. They only find a truck and 2 doors in the tunnel. Looking around, Emma decides to leave the doll in the back of the truck, but the sight inside is traumatizing for both of them. It's a pale, lifeless Connie lying there. The two hide, hearing people coming back, but they find out that they aren't people, but 2 monsters and their mother. One of them devours Connie, while the other sees the students' performances and demands the brightest 3 to become food for this farm. The 2 rush back and wait till everyone's asleep. Norman says they should run away, but Emma wants to save others too. Norman consoles Emma, ensuring they'll find a place to save everyone. Demon Slayer. Tanjiro's a hard-working youngster trying to feed his 5 siblings and mother well after the death of his father. He goes to sell coal, and while he's returning at night, Sanabu stops him at the bottom of the mountain, asking him to stay, since the man-eating demons come out at night, and it's not safe to be out. The next day, Tanjiro travels back home, but the strong smell makes him rush towards his house. His whole world is flipped upside down, seeing his entire family slaughtered. He can feel Nezuko still alive, so he carries her and tries to rush as fast as possible to the doctor, when suddenly Nezuko moves and throws him off a cliff. He's saved by the snow as a cushion, but Nezuko attacks him. He doesn't understand how she became a demon and tries to bring forth her memories. He almost succeeds when a demon slayer appears there, claiming her blood has been tainted by the demon blood. He captures Nezuko, ready to slay her, but Tanjiro begs him not to kill her. Tanjiro goes to the extent of bowing, making the man angry enough to tell him to man up and protect someone if they're precious. Tanjiro takes his axe and approaches him in a curvature. He's knocked out by the guy, but throws his axe earlier to prove how good he is. Nezuko breaks free and attacks him to save Tanjiro. The Demon Slayer is convinced that she indeed won't eat humans, since it's the phase where man-eating demons are the most hungry. He traps her mouth and tells Tanjiro to take her to the Demon Slayer trainer, Urodaki, and tell him that Giyu sent him. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. 2 brothers, Edward and Alphonse Elric, were fond of 2 things: learning alchemy from their father's books and love for their mother. So when their mother dies, the loneliness makes them think of performing the forbidden act of alchemy, human transmutation. In this, the person has to give something equally valuable in exchange for what they seek. After studying and collecting stuff about it, the 10 and 11-year-old boys perform this forbidden act in their old house. However, something goes wrong, and along with that, Edward's leg is cut off, followed by the complete disappearance of Alphonse in the same way. Their transmutation lacked a few elements, but it was too late, and the value in exchange for what they did was his leg and the complete boy. Moreover, the disturbing version of his mother makes him sick. Crying, Edward performs another act to bring back Alphonse's soul into a steel armor in exchange for his arm. The 2 then live a quiet, depressed life with their grandmother when Colonel Roy visits him. He realizes what the brothers did right away. Instead, it feels like a stronger reason for Roy to offer Edward to serve in the military as a full-metal alchemist, which will also provide them a better chance to find a solution to get their bodies back. Solo leveling. More than a decade ago, a portal was opened in the world carrying monsters that only hunters born with special abilities could defeat. Back to the present, a weak bandaged boy walks in the sight of the new mission. Sung is the weakest known hunter of all. So if he's seen on a mission, it means the mission's going to be easy. Inside the dungeon, Sung almost gets killed once again when his cheap knife gives up on him. His friend, Ju-hee, heals his wounds while the others fight easily, putting him in not only physical but mental agony as well. The less fortune makes the majority of people vote for going to explore the cave inside the dungeon. After 40 minutes of walking, they all come across huge doors, potentially leading to the boss room of the dungeon. The room carries huge statues with musical instruments. The mission leader, Mr. Sung, reads an ancient scripture mentioning how one should obey God when Juhi tells Sung she saw the statue moving. The doors of the dungeon slam shut on everyone, which scares them. One of the men angrily tries to storm out, but the moment he reaches the door, a guard soldier slashes his body into two. Sung notices the central statue's eyes move towards him, with the fire lit inside them. Even though scared to death, he manages to lure everyone to get down. The statue emits a laser, burning everyone that touches it. Even though Sung managed to save himself in this instance, one thought screams in his mind. He's going to get killed. Tokyo Ghoul. A ghoul has been reported in the aquarium, but when someone tries to catch her, she escapes easily. The next day, the news is being telecasted about the deaths of the ghoul when two friends, Hyde and Kaneki, are talking about Kaneki's crush, and coincidentally, he gets a chance with her the same day. The two of them get into a chat and go for a lunch date. In the evening, Takatsuki tells him she's scared of going home alone, since her house is near where the incident happened. Everyone except Kaneki can see where things are headed. Walking to a secluded place, Takasi attacks Kaneki. She's busy hurting him and eating him when a slam on some under-constructed bars drops on her, giving her an unexpected death. Kaneki wakes up in the hospital, but something feels uneasy and gloomy to him. He avoids his friend and doesn't like how slimy his food is. A news broadcast makes him realize the slimy tastes are the trait of a ghoul, and it becomes vivid when he cannot force himself to stand normal food. Avoiding people, Kaneki is out at night, when the scent of blood and flesh drives him to a place that supposedly belonged to Takatsuki. But now different ghouls are fighting to make it their feeding ground. Nishiki's threatening to kill Kaneki when Toka appears, making him run away. Toka then notices Kaneki just became a ghoul, and he keeps avoiding human flesh, but Toka forces him to eat it by punching it in his mouth. Akame ga Kill. Tatsumi is an ambitious adventurer going to the capital to make his name and save his village. Some travelers midway try to stop him by warning him about the people of the capital being real monsters, but it's too late for him to go back now. Reaching the capital, Tatsumi gets scammed into being broke by a girl. Sleeping on the bridge, a girl, Arya, finds him and takes him to her house sweetly. He tells her parents about his two friends, Sayo and Ieyasu, getting separated from him on the way. Arya's father decides to help him search for them. The next day, guards tell Tatsumi to beware of the night raid that assassin wealthy people at night. That same night, the night raid attacks their house. Tatsumi sees it all and rushes to help Arya near the shed when one of the assassins, Akame, appears there. She ignores Tatsumi and aims to kill the guard and Arya. Leone, the girl that scammed Tatsumi, stops Akame to reveal what's in the shed. There's a bunch of people tortured and dead inside the shed. The family lures countryside people and tortures them to death. What's traumatizing is Sayo's body in a brutal condition, hung up front, and a beaten up and diseased Ieyasu in a cage. Seeing this, Tatsumi himself kills Arya. Ieyasu later loses his life peacefully in Tatsumi's hold. Leone then forces him to join the night raid, where he's welcomed warmly, even though he resists. Zom 100. Akira Tendo worked hard in his college to finally join a corporate job. He was very enthusiastic at the start, and even the long hours didn't overturn his enthusiasm. But that's the thing about exploitive jobs. They don't overturn your energy, they kill you slowly. With back-to-back night shifts, long working hours, workplace bullying by the boss, and his office crush turning out to be the boss's mistress, Akira's world turned monotonous and dead. The motivation to live or even think about living was over, as he spent his days dead like a zombie. So on a regular day, actual zombies take over the world. Akira rushes for his life, but as he runs, he realizes he doesn't have to go back to work. And with some splashes of blood, the color in Akira's life is back. Feeling happy, he rushes to his crush's house, but it's too late. Confessing to her zombie self, he goes to a convenience store, chugs a few beers, and decides to make a bucket list to finally live his life. Attack on Titan. Eren is sleeping under a tree when Mikasa wakes him up from something that feels like a long dream to him. On the way back home, they find some members of the Survey Corps drinking. Eren argues with them and they say they can never fight against Titans for real. Eren looks up at the Survey Corps fighting for their freedom, which is why he rushes to see some members of the Survey Corps returning after a mission, but finds them all dejected and appalled for not being able to get any positive outcome in any of those missions. All they got was the death of their mates. Reaching home, Mikasa rats out on Eren in fear of him joining the Survey Corps. His father sounds just fine, but his mother gets mad at him, making him run away. Eren and Mikasa save their friend Armin from some bullies. Then they talk about the outside world, and how those walls cannot protect them from the Titans forever. What they didn't expect was their word to be true right away. A Titan bigger than the 50-meter wall kicks it in, to create a hole for numerous Titans to enter inside. Eren and Mikasa rush to their house, finding his mother under the rubble. They keep trying to lift the rubble when Haynes comes there. He proceeds to fight the Titan, but realizes it's better to just save the kids. As he picks up Eren and Mikasa and rushes away, Eren witnesses his mother being eaten alive by a Titan. That's it for today, but for more interesting updates about your favorite anime, do remember to subscribe and keep visiting. Thanks for watching!